Hey guys, Darth Deuce is here with another review. I'm going to be reviewing a very interesting figure. A figure I didn't really think I was going to pick up, but free comic book day, it was 30% off, so I thought I'm going to pull the trigger on this guy because he did look really cool. Never owned a Revoltech figure before, but here it is. I'm going to be reviewing the Revoltech Megatron. This figure looks really cool. I've heard that Revoltech's a pretty decent line of figures, and I really wanted a G1 Megatron, and this looked really cool. And for getting it on sale, I was definitely going for it. So I'll take a quick look at him in the packaging first, and he comes in this box. You got Revoltech, Destron, Leader, and Megatron. You got the figure with accessories and whatnot. You got Revoltech. You got this little band thing on there, and some. I'm assuming Japanese writing, but I might be wrong on that, so I apologize if I am. But you got a pretty cool image of the figure there. Revoltech Megatron. A lot of crap there. Different ways you can pose them, which is pretty cool. And all the other, I guess, accessory and whatnot he comes with. So that's pretty cool. They show all that. So pretty cool kind of display box, but I'm going to get them opened up out of the box and we'll take a closer look. Alright, now I have Megatron out of the packaging, and this is a really cool figure. I'm very happy with this figure. He's not perfect by any means. I do have my issues with it, but I don't regret the purchase at all. This is a really cool figure. So let's get right into it. I'll take a look at the sculpt first, and sculpt is pretty good. Let's see if you'll zoom in here. Or focus more or less. The paint is really shiny, as you might be able to already tell. There we go. There's the head sculpt there, and it looks pretty good. He's got red painted eyes with some black outline, which is really cool. You got sort of a stern expression going on, which is also really cool. As you can see throughout the whole figure, you also have this really nice silver paint, which is really shiny, as you can tell. It really does make it look sort of like metal, which is really cool. The torso looks really nice. You got a really crisply, nicely applied Decepticon emblem in purple applied there, with some black paint apps and some nice sculpting details, with some more sculpting details and some red and yellow paint apps on the midsection. Shoulders look really nice. And he has the sort of gun barrel bit from when he would be in gun mode sculpted on his back, which looks really cool. And some more paint apps and sculpted detail. He's got some nice red paint apps on the arms there, a darker gray there, and you got the forearms, which has some nice sculpted detail. And he's got his fists here. You got two bald fists. You got the black groin piece there. It looks really good. You got the silver in the legs, and you got these parts of the legs here, which is a nice sort of, I don't know, gunmetal color. You got a nice red paint in there with some silver paint apps and some nice sculpted detail. Again, the paint really gives us this very metal look. It's very shiny but not sparkly or anything. It makes it really look like metal, which I really like a lot. The plastic also feels a lot quality, look really good quality. You got the silver feet with two peg holes at the bottom of the feet, which is really cool as well. He's got his fusion cannon on his right arm here, which is pretty cool. Sculpted nicely. Again, in that gunmetal sort of dark black sort of color. He's got like a dark paint app, or a pitch black paint app in the barrel to make it look hollow. It's pretty cool. I think my only gripe with the fusion cannon is I think I like to have it raised just a little bit away from the arm. I think it's a little too attached, a little too close to the forearm. It makes it a little more impeding of movement. And I mean, in some cases, when he's drawn or whatever, it's been raised, and sometimes it hasn't been. So it's just the way they decided to do this figure. But I would have liked it raised up a little more, but it's not a big deal. And sculpt and paint app wise, it's a really good looking G1 Megatron. Like, I have no real complaints with it. Even the joints, as you can see, aren't too obvious for the most part. They meld in pretty good with the overall figure, so I really like that as well. They don't look too ugly or anything. It's just really well executed. And if it wants to focus in again, Let's see. There we go. So in terms of articulation, he is super articulated. It being a Revoltech figure, one of the main focuses is articulation. So he has the nice Revoltech joints, which are like ratcheting joints. They can pretty much move any way you want them to for the most part. So in the head, he has 2 hinges, so he can move really far down, really far back, and rotate, which is really good. When you get the figure out of the packaging, you'll have him with his neck sort of raised up like this, which is okay looking, but it does look a little ugly. If you want to hide that, you can actually just fold it back a bit, and it looks a lot better in my opinion. He has nice hinges at the shoulders, which can move all the way up. They can move inward, they can move outward quite a bit, which is really good. He has swivels at the sort of elbow, as well as a single hinge at the elbow, swivels at the wrists, a nice torso joint which can crunch forward pretty far. I don't know if that's it. I think it can go a little bit further, but it's hard to manipulate with one hand, so I'm not going to force it any further, but it can crunch back forward 2 clicks, and it can crunch back a little bit, but not too much. He has the ratcheting joints at the hips, so he can kick forward as much as the black groin piece will allow, so it kicks forward a fair amount and can move out a decent amount. You also have rotation there at the leg, at the thigh, which moves really well. You have a nice hinge at the knee, which can move further than 90 degrees, which is really nice. You also have a hinge at the ankle with a pivot at the ankle. So with all this articulation in this figure, you can get some really, really dynamic poses. And I absolutely love the posability of this figure. It's something that makes this figure really good. Now in terms of accessories, he's a little light on them, which is one of my issues. But he still comes with some cool ones. So he comes with some interchangeable parts. One of which is a alternate head. If it wants to focus. Come on. Come on. There we go. So he comes with an extra head, which again has the nice paint apps and whatever, but it's supposed to be a bit more of a laughing or a grinning sort of pose. Okay, it has the white teeth painted in. Because the head's so small, it's a little hard to see the difference between the 2 heads, but it is, as you can see there, it is a grinning head, and it looks really cool. It kind of got that evil smile going on, which I really, really like. This is the head I display him with, but I just put the other head on him to show you because that's how he comes out of the packaging. This is really cool. It's really cool they give you that alternate head. He also comes with a couple of different sets of hands, so of course he does have the balled fist hands. He also comes with a pair of these open sort of dramatic gesture hands. He comes with 2 of these, 1 for each arm. And then for the right arm, he also comes with this trigger finger hand, which is a little weird because he doesn't come with any sort of holding accessories. I guess it's nice to have just so you can get him to hold other stuff if you want him to. But he doesn't actually come with anything where he could shoot like a gun or whatever. So I find this is a little weird to include. Which I guess, again, like I mentioned before, comes to one of my gripes. For the price that this figure can go for, he could have come with a lot more accessories. Like, he could have given him the laser sword he used in the movie. He could have given him the Energon ball and chain thing to attach as a interchangeable hands thing. That would have been really cool. Just accessory like that, I think, would have put this figure over the top, I think. That's my pretty much only other gripe for the most part. Another, not much of a gripe, but I would have been cool if he was bigger. I mean, especially for the price point, I think he should be a little bigger, as he's actually a fairly small figure, just for a size comparison. Here's a 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figure. So he stands a bit taller, maybe about 2 heads taller, and here he is next to a pretty much standard 6-inch figure, which the 6-inch figure stands a fair amount taller than him. So you can see sort of the scale difference. So especially for the price this figure can go for, I think he should have been a bit bigger. It would have been a bit cooler. They could have gotten a bit more detail in if they made him a bit bigger. But it's not a huge deal. The scale he is in, the smallness of the scale, is pretty cool in itself. Pretty unique. So that is cool. But overall, this is a really, really cool action figure. Just overall, paint, sculpt, articulation and has some extra interchangeable parts. Just a really cool figure. If you're a fan of Transformers, and especially a fan of the Generation 1, and you want a really cool looking Generation 1 Megatron figure that has some awesome articulation so you can get some really cool poses, I highly recommend picking this guy up if you can get him for a good price. I wouldn't pay insane prices. I just did a little bit of digging. He can go for anywhere from like $30 to $90. Big Bad Toy Store has them up for $89.99 in US dollars, which is nuts in my opinion for a figure that's so small. But if you can get them for like 40, which is what I got them for, 30, 40, maybe 50, then I think definitely it's a figure you should pull the trigger on. It's a really cool figure, and I highly recommend it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the review. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Till all are one.